Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be discussing what I've read this summer. I have not read a lot. I've just been busy with like work and getting prepared for the next school year, so I haven't really been reading as much as I normally have during the summer, but I still wanted to share with you guys what I've gotten done this summer. I only have about 5 books to share with you today, so I'm just gonna be talking about them and giving me my rating, what I thought of them, my reactions to things, all of it. So let's get straight into the video, no more yapping. Okay, getting straight into the first book. This is Delicate Escape by Catherine Cowles. I think that's how you say her name. This book, I love this book so much. This was the first book I read this summer. Now, if you've seen in my past videos, I've also read Fragile Sanctuary by her, and she has like a whole bunch of books and they're all within the same kind of like realm of like characters and stuff. So when I thought about what I wanted to read this summer, I took a look at my shelf and I was like, maybe I should continue this one. So I ran over to Barnes & Noble, and listen guys, the Barnes & Noble where I live is low-key garbage. Like if you go in there looking for something, you're probably gonna leave with like a $10 pen. You're not gonna go in there finding what you need and like leave satisfied. So when I found this, I do not care. I was like jumping up and down with glee. I was so happy. I immediately read it when I got home. It probably took me like a day and a half to get through. Same thing with this book though. Love her books so much. This one, the one that I think I read this last summer or maybe during the school year, I can't remember. The author did this really genius thing where she introduced this main character in the other book, but she made her very mysterious. She didn't have an email, she didn't have a credit card, she didn't have a phone number, she didn't have a phone. Like this character was just very unknown to us. She exposed the character in this book enough for us to kind of be like interested, like what's going on, but not enough to spoil this book. This follows a main character who's kind of paranoid about like her life because of her ex, and her ex is like a huge movie star, so he has a bunch of money and power, and like he thinks he's alpha, he's actually not. He's basically trying to ruin the main character's life, and it's just a whole like, I would give this book like 5 out of 5 stars, honestly. The pacing was good. The characters are really likable. Loved the plot, the message too. Like I said before, she struggles with a lot of paranoia with her past relationship, and in the end, you can kind of see her break through those walls and realize that like, I don't need to be paranoid. I have people around me who love me and I can protect myself. Like it's a very empowering book in that way, and I just love it so much. But I will say with both of these stories, heavy trigger warning for like deep stuff and like mental health struggles and stuff like that. So if you're not comfortable reading these, I completely get it. But if you are, definitely go grab both of these. And like I said, there's a whole bunch, and I wasn't kidding. There's a whole bunch of stories, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the stories. I just love when like authors have so many books out and I can just knock them out, you know, because some authors like MZ, Mariana Zapata, which is another author that I love, she has a lot of books out, but she also has a lot of books that she's like teasing that are coming out. Same thing with Elsie Silver. I'm literally tweaking, please release the books, like spare change, like that's literally me, like I need these books right now. But this author is not doing that to me, so I respect it. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, time for the big guns. This is the ACOTAR series. It's not the whole series, and I'll get into why I'm not reading the whole series. Please do not flame me in the comments. Put your pitchforks down, let me explain myself, okay? I was actually not going to read this series until like later. I don't know when, but I was just always putting it off because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I love fantasy books, don't get me wrong, like I love me a good fantasy book, but for me, it's very easy to mess them up and make them feel very like just too tacky, too much going on, not enough for me to remember. So many characters, powers, poisonous apples, like I just can't keep up. But I think what my sign was these books are actually thrifted. I found these at the Goodwill bins, and at the Goodwill bins, if you don't know, books are like 50 cents a pound. So I literally got all 3 of these books for probably like $1.50 maybe. I was like, okay, I think this is my sign to finally read this series. So I actually had to like sit down and force myself to start reading this, but once I did, I just could not put it down. So let's get into it. So the very first book in the series is obviously the OG ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses. This is by Sarah J. Maas. Everybody, I don't even have to say this, everyone knows these books, I feel like. If you read books and you're on social media, you know of these books. But let's get into specifically the first one. This one was kind of like what catapulted me into the series. I was like, okay, now I'm kind of interested. Like, why can't I put this book down? It was kind of that, right? I think for me, what makes a fantasy book really good is the imagery. You're describing something writing and I'm seeing it. Like if you're writing that a character is like running for her life through the woods, I want to be like right there with her, you know? Sarah did that thing. She ate this. Like I could see it in my head. It was like watching a movie. As an individual book, it's not my favorite in the series. However, it's very important for the plot. When you're talking like a series, the first book is just kind of not gonna be boring, but kind of slow paced in the beginning because we're introducing characters, plots, protagonists, antagonists, like stuff like that. But once we get into like the meat and potatoes of the series, then it starts to get really good. For that reason, I'm gonna give this book a 4 out of 5 because she's the OG, you know, she's what got us where we are today, but she's not like my top favorite. I would recommend reading this book. If you don't read the series, at least read this one and you'll probably want to read the rest. Okay, let's get on to the second book in the series. Now, the next book in the series is called A Court of Mist and Fury. This is my favorite book in the series. This right here, y'all. Wow, if I could go back and read this again, I literally would. The first one probably took me like 2 days to read. This took me like a day and a half to read. And y'all see how thick this is? Oh yes, I was in my room just like immersed in that. Like if you see me reading anywhere with headphones and I'm like literally nose in the book, don't come up to me. Don't even look at me. I am too locked in. Like I probably don't even know what's happening around me. I think what makes it good is in the first book, we kind of have, like I said, the character set up, the plot set up, the conflict set up, everything's set up, right? And we think we're like, you know, we're good, we're strolling, the plot's moving. We're like, okay, period, like complete 180. Complete 180, y'all. Complete 180. You think you know what's going on and you think you know who to trust, and then this book, you pick up this book and you're like, oh, so I'm switching teams. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So in this specific series and in a lot of fantasy books that I've read, there are maps in the front of the book, which to me, like if I open a fantasy book and I see a map, I know I'm in for the most insane like character tree. I'm gonna have to like lock in to remember all the powers and universes and whatever. But for these books, it was kind of simple. Like you could follow it. I feel like it's not that hard. But in this case, there are different realms. In this book, we get a glimpse of another realm because in the first book, we're kind of stuck in the human world and then just one of like the magical courts. And so we don't get to see really what okay, we're back. I forgot that they do that every Wednesday. That's my bad. Like I was saying, we don't really get to see how the other characters live in their courts and like what their day-to-day life is like. We get a glimpse into like the darker kind of realm in this book. It just eats so hard. Something else that's very important to me in series books is how we perceive our main character throughout the books, because we have the same main character for like 5-6 books, maybe even more than that. I think it's important that we like that character because we have to, you know, we're stuck with them for however many books. But I also think it's important to be realistic and have those things that kind of like annoy the reader about the main character that's like, ooh girl, I disagree. It's more real like that. This one is a 5 out of 5 stars. 6 out of 6. Wait, 6. I need to go back to college, y'all. I'm almost there. 6 out of 5 stars is what I mean. Like if I could give this an 1,000,000 out of 5 stars, I would. I know I said for the last book, if you at least don't read the series, read that book. No, read this one too. Thank me later. Okay, sorry guys if the angle has changed. My camera was about to die, so I had to charge it a little bit, but we're back. This is the last book I read in the series. Like I said, I have not read the last 2. There are 5 books in the series. This is A Court of Wings and Ruin, and this is kind of like, okay, so the second book is like the build up, right, to what the climax is of the story and like the war and like things are about to happen. This is the big things. This book is quote unquote big things, okay? Again, I feel like I've said what I need to say about this author in this series. The imagery is amazing. The action is amazing. The plot twists are amazing. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to spoil, but the plot twists that this author can write, so good. I am obsessed. I will give this book probably a 3.5 out of 5 stars. As much as I do love the action and the plot twists and the characters and the imagery and blah 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 whatever, I do think that I just love the tension and the build up and the suspense of the second book. And this book is still good. It just didn't give me the same like adrenaline rush as the second one, if that makes sense. Okay, we're already on our last book that I've read this summer. I know I was slacking this summer. I've just been so busy, y'all, and reading has not been at the forefront of my mind, sadly, because I really do love reading, but time has just literally ran away from me. I don't know where she's going. She's come back to me. But this last book is called Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name, but this is the book. I actually did not have this on my TBR or anything, but I watched a video. I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, but she did this really creative thing where she tried a new hobby for a week. So like a new hobby every day for 7 days. And I just loved that video so much. And in the video, she mentioned that one of the hobbies was reading. And so this was the book. And if you know anything about me, you know that it does not take long at all to convince me to read something. If you tell me a plot of a story and I'm interested. Like I have to run and get it. So literally she didn't even finish telling her viewers about this book, aka me, before I went to my Amazon cart and bought it. But what really drew me in about this story was the setting. We are in Italy for a wedding and I was like, okay, I'm immediately drawn in. Like that is my dream. I want to go to Italy so bad. Europe in general, I'm coming for you. I really am. Just wait until I get my money up and I'm coming for you. We have the main character and she's kind of your run-of-the-mill like mid-20-year-old who's going to her brother's wedding, right? Nothing special. But what makes the story a romance story and also kind of interesting is we have an age gap kind of situation. So it's a brother's best friend story. What I really loved about this story was the drama. I live for the drama, I live for the tea, I live for it all, and that is what we got. This was not dual point of view, so it was only from the main character's point of view, but I kind of liked it because it made the male lead very like mysterious and like, what is he thinking? Because it's interpretive and it's also like, we're also experiencing it like the main character. We're like, okay, what is he thinking right now? What is he feeling? And the main character's also feeling that. So it just makes the experience that much better. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm just gonna say it. It was hands down amazing. Okay guys, that is it for this video today. It was kind of a short video, I know, but I do have a really exciting video coming up for you guys and it's gonna take me a while to edit. I literally just know because I'm filming it with my friends and we are yappers. I'm very excited to film that for you guys and I'm also very excited to edit it, so keep an eye out for that. I wanted to get this video out just as a little like treat for y'all while you guys wait for the video I have planned. So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like this video if you of course liked it and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you guys in my next video.